Hello, welcome to Handmade Paper Art. My name is Ernesto Aviña, and today we're going to be working on Leatherface. So the first thing that we have to do for this figure, we have to create the body. And in order to create the body, we have to do 2 rows of black, and the third row is going to be of white. So let's grab our black and white pieces. We're going to start with the black first. We're going to grab one of these pieces, and we're going to put one right on top of another, like this. And then I'm going to grab a white piece for the third, and I'm going to put it right on top of the second black piece. And it should look like this. And now we have to do 9 more modules just like this in order to create a total of 10. Now that you have your 10 pieces, we're going to grab 2 of them, and we're going to put these 2 points into these 2 pockets right here, and we're going to unite them together like this. And we're going to do the same for the rest of them. Now that this is all together, we're going to turn this around the other way, and we're going to grab these 2 points and we're going to put them into these 2 pockets right here, like this. And now it should look like this. The next step is to do another row of all white, so it's going to be 10 pieces of white to go above this. And this is what it should look like. The next step after this is to do the neckline, and it's going to be the layer that separates the body from the head, and it's going to be the in-between. And in order to do that, we're going to grab our peach pieces, and we're going to put them invertedly. So we're going to put them facing the other way as opposed to the regular piece. So we're going to grab this regular piece and we're going to flip it to the other side and just put it in like that. And this is what your figure should look like. So now we're going to get started on the face. For the face of this figure, we're going to use the cardboard color. So let's grab our cardboard pieces, and we're going to grab one of them and we're going to put them randomly somewhere just to get started. And so this is going to be our middle point here. We're going to put 2 more cardboard pieces to the right and then 2 more to the left. So this is what it should look like. It should be 5 pieces of cardboard, and we're going to put 4 more on top of this. Okay, now we're going to flip it over to the other side, and for this back side, his hair, it's going to be brown. So let's grab our brown pieces, and we're going to do 5 pieces for the first row. Now that the first row is complete, the second row is going to be 6 pieces of brown. Alright, the next row after this is going to be 5 pieces of brown on top of these 6. Alright, this is what it should look like. It should be 5, 6, and 5. So let's flip it over to the front side again. Let's grab our cardboard pieces. And in order to finish off the face, we need to do 5 more pieces of cardboard and then another 4 on top of that. So we have 5, 4, 5, and 4 to complete the face. Let's turn it around, and we're going to finish off the back of the head with 6 brown pieces and then another 10 on top to complete it. And the head is now complete. So the next thing that we're going to work on for this figure, we're going to make the arms and the legs. So for the arms, we're going to need 2 white pieces, and we're going to need 2 peach pieces. And for the legs, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's grab one of these black pieces. We're going to open it up, and we're going to fold it down to the middle. This top triangle part down to the middle. We're going to close it, and we're going to grab another black piece, and we're going to open up the little slots with one of the pointy ends. And now we're going to insert both of those little points into it, and we're going to have one leg. And we'll do the same for the other leg. And now the arms. Like this. Close it. Alright, so let's grab our figure. Let's go ahead and put the arms and the legs in. We're going to grab one arm, and the arm is going to go right here where the face meets the hair. It's going to go right in there. And we're going to count 5 pieces to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right here where the face meets the hair again on the other side is where we're going to put the other hand. Right here. Flip it over to the front. Right here in the middle, we're going to come down 1 point to the right. Skip this one. And right here, so where the leg is going to go. And we're going to go back to the center, down to the left. We're going to skip this one, and right here is where the other leg is going to go. And remember, when you have a figure that is 4 rows, you're going to have 2 points in between each leg. So these 2 here. Alright, so now that we have this, let's go ahead and do these little points for his hair next. We're going to grab 4 brown pieces. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to grab one of these pieces, and we're going to open it up like this. With one hand, you're going to grab one of these points, and with the other, you're going to grab the other. And then you're going to pull apart, and then hold it, and then close. And it should be pulled apart like this. And we're going to do the same for the rest of these. Open, pull, close. And now that we have the 4, we're going to go grab our figure. We're going to go to the middle point. We're going to count from here, skip this one, and we're going to put our first one in like this. And I'll show it a little better for the next one. We're going to go to the middle. We're going to skip this one, and you see how I'm holding it here? I'm holding it by the points. These points. We're going to put this right in there, and we're going to have it facing down like this. So this is what it should look like. Like this. We're going to grab the next one, and as opposed to putting it downwards like that, we're going to put it upwards like this. So now that the points are going to be sticking upwards, and it's going to go right behind this one on the next one over. So we go over to this side, right to where this one's at, and we're going to go straight to here, and we're going to put this next one right in there. And it should look like this. It should be the first 2 going down, and then the 2 behind going up, to give his hair a little bit more volume, or a little bit more of a crazy look. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab some cardboard cardstock. And I have this little sheet here. And I have a stencil for his little apron. So I'm gonna grab my pencil, and I'm gonna trace this. And I know you guys are not gonna have a stencil for this, but try your best to draw out the little apron. That's how I got started. You know, before I had a stencil, I would draw all these out. So try your best to draw this shape and to create an apron. And if it's a little too big, just trim it as much as you need to make it fit. So let's go ahead and grab our scissors and cut this out. Alright, so now when you cut it out, just go ahead and erase these extra lines that were left over. Alright, and now we're going to color it in a little bit with a marker. I'm going to start off with a finer point on my marker, and I'm just going to do some lines, maybe just like this, and maybe a little bump that comes up a little bit like that, and then this that comes down like this a little bit. And I'm going to color that in with the other side of my marker. Just that. So now that we have this part done, we're just going to add a little bit of blood spatter just to make it look a little better. Something like that. Alright, and just like that, our apron is done. And now we have to make a tie. So I'm going to grab a piece of black cardstock, and I'm going to grab my stencil for the tie. And you can't really see it. Maybe if I flip it this way, you'll be able to see it better. And I'm just going to trace this. I'm just going to cut out my tie. Okay, so now I have the tie. So now that we have the tie and the apron, the next thing to do is going to be doing the chainsaw. And for the chainsaw, I have this paper here with this image that I printed out. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut one of these out. And in order for you to have this image, I'm going to put it in the description so that you're able to download it. That way you can have it and print it out yourself. So we're going to go ahead and trim this down a little bit. Like this. And because it's so thin, I want to make it thicker, just like this one. I want to make it really thick. I'm gonna grab this this piece of cardstock that I created, and it's 3 pieces of cardstock that are all glued together to make a really thick piece of cardstock. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on there just to give it a little bit of thickness. So I'll put some glue on this and put that somewhere like that. Glue it on. And once it's glued on, I'm going to cut it out. Alright, and now we have our chainsaw already completed. So besides that, all we need is the eyes. And here are the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and cut those out right now. Okay. So now before we go ahead and start gluing this together onto the body of this figure, let's glue this figure together. Otherwise we won't be able to reach some of these areas here once we put the apron on the front. So I'm going to move this to the side so that my camera doesn't go more blurry. And let's focus. Let's start gluing it together. Remove the legs. Put some glue. The arm. We're going to grab one of these points, put a little bit of glue in there, put it back in. Next one, put some glue in there. And we're going to glue the little crevices. Alright, now we're just going to open up this hand a little bit. Put some glue in there, stick it back in, the foot. And we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, now that we got that done, let's go ahead and grab our apron. For the apron, we're gonna smush this a little bit, the middle piece here on the chest, and we're gonna bend our apron a little bit to give it a little bit of a curve like this, so that it fits better on top of the figure. And this is how it's gonna sit. We're gonna have this middle piece that's gonna be right in the center of that opening there. So let's flip this over and let's put some glue right on there, kind of like this. And we're gonna turn this around and we're gonna put it right how it was, like this. And we're just gonna hold that for a second until it sets. Alright, that should be enough. So now after this, I'm gonna put some glue right here on that shirt, right in the center, like this. And then this is where my tie is gonna go. So I'm gonna grab my tie and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on, just like that. And let's center it a little better. And I'm just gonna leave it like this. Grab my scissors and push it down a little bit. So that's good. Now let's go to this piece right above here. We're gonna go number 1, number 2, and number 3. This is gonna be your nose. Let's go to the piece to the right and we're gonna squish that one. And this is where your right eye is gonna go. We're gonna go back to the nose, to the left. We're gonna squish that one. And this is where your left eye is gonna go. Let's go ahead and put some glue on those 2 spots. And let's put our eyes in. So you have your right eye right on there. And now you have your left eye right over to this side. Now the only thing that we have left to do is to put the chainsaw on his hand. So I'm just gonna flatten this hand as much as I can. And I'm just gonna put a decent amount of glue right on that hand. And we're gonna grab this chainsaw and we're gonna put it on just like this. Right on there, and we're just gonna let it sit. Depending on your glue, depending how fast it dries, it might shift on you, but mine's pretty good, so pretty much as soon as I put it on, it's there. So just like that, our figure is complete. Thank you so much for following this tutorial. Hopefully you guys were able to build your very own Leatherface. If you guys are able to complete this figure, send me a picture on Instagram. That way I can share it with my friends on Insta. Thank you guys so much for following the tutorial. I really appreciate it. This was Handmade Paper Art, and my name is Ernesto Viña, and I hope you guys have a good day.